The following special edition episode of the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd takes place before the events in episode 613.
It's time once again for America's favorite show, The Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd, brought to you by drfloyd.com.
As we begin this episode, we find our hero, the world's most brilliant scientist, Dr. Floyd, desperately trying to gain the attention of the rest of the staff of his Institute of Technology.
Everyone, can I have your attention, please? Can you all just settle down for a minute? Could I just talk for a...
Oh, hello, Dr. Floyd. Quiet, please!
Thank you, Chips. Now, I called you all here today because it's time for the Dr. Floyd Institute of Technology's biannual fire safety briefing. Now, I know these briefings aren't as exciting as you'd like, but proper knowledge of fire safety procedures is important and could save your life. I promise to make this quick and painless. Now, who can tell me what the fire alarm here at the Institute sounds like? Yes, Flight Attendant Christie?
It's a series of several short bells that repeat until silenced.
Very good.
Dr. Floyd?
Not now, Chips. Okay, and what is the proper action that should be taken when the alarm sounds? Ensign Temporary.
Sir, all building occupants should make a prompt but orderly exit from the building and make their way to the emergency meeting location. Hip.
That is correct. And now...
Excuse me, Dr. Floyd, but...
I said not now, Chips.
But it's important.
So is fire safety. And since you're so eager to jump in, the next question is for you. Where is our emergency meeting location?
It's the marble bust of your head that's at the entrance of the driveway leading to the Institute.
And why is that our emergency meeting location?
Because it's farthest away from any of the buildings of the Institute. There.
Excellent answer.
And we'll also have plenty of room to spread out since that marble bust of your head doesn't take up that much space.
Oh yeah, ha, very funny. Okay, Dr. Grant, answer me this fire safety riddle. What would you do if your lab coat was to suddenly catch on fire?
Run around wildly flailing my arms, screaming, "Put me out! Put me out!"
That's correct. No, that's wrong, Dr. Grant. In fact, that only makes matters worse. Running around feeds more oxygen to the fire, making it bigger. The proper answer is to stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, I see. Well, as I'm stopping, dropping, and rolling, can I still scream, "Put me out! Put me out"?
Yes, that's fine. Now, I want to go over the escape routes and emergency exits we have here in the facility. Dr. Doug, the first slide, please.
Oh, right.
But Dr. Floyd!
Later, Chips. Now, if you were on the third floor and the fire alarm were to sound, you would...
As Dr. Floyd goes over the various fire emergency escape routes at the Institute, we turn our attention to the fine city of Chicago in the year 1871. It is October 8th, and in the early hours of the gathering twilight, two terrible troublemakers make their way down a bustling street. These two corrupt criminals can be none other than that evil mastermind, Dr. Steve, and his sock-shaped assistant, Fidget.
I'm not exactly sure, Fidget. Let me ask these two boys for directions. Excuse me there, fine young gentlemen.
Yes, sir?
My assistant and I are a little bit lost. I'm wondering if you could tell me if we are close to DeCoven Street. We're planning on visiting some friends there, the O'Learys.
Oh, sure. It's 2 blocks over in that direction. Mrs. O'Leary's real nice. Gonna see her cow Madeline, are you? I thought the cow's name was Daisy.
I'd actually read that it was Gwendolyn. At any rate, yes, we're going to visit Mrs. O'Leary and her cow. Thank you, boys. You've been a big help.
Don't mention it. See you later.
Okay, Fidget, let's get a move on. It's almost 8:30.
What happened?
Fidget, tonight at about 9 o'clock p.m., the Great Fire of Chicago is going to start. And although the exact cause of the fire isn't known for sure, experts are pretty sure it started in Mrs. O'Leary's barn, which is where we're headed to right now.
Oh, now how do people in the barn?
Well, there's actually many theories as to how the Great Fire started. Some think that it was Mrs. O'Leary's cow that kicked over a lantern and started it, while there's others that believe that it was a man named Daniel Pegleg Sullivan who caused the fire, when he dropped some ashes from his pipe while trying to steal some milk from the O'Leary's barn. And then there's other people who believe that the fire was caused by the breakup of the Biela's Comet over the Midwest, as 4 different fires broke out that night, all of them on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Wow, which one is the real
Well, that's just it. No one knows what the real story is, but that's why we're here. We're going to hide in the bushes behind Mrs. O'Leary's barn and watch for the true cause of the fire. Then we'll jump back to the future and sell that information to the highest bidder. Now, come on, Fidget, let's go.
And as Dr. Steve and Fidget make their way to Mrs. O'Leary's barn, let's make our way back to present-day Saddle River City, where Dr. Floyd is just wrapping up his fire safety presentation.
And finally, how often should you test your smoke alarms, and when should you change the batteries? Dr. Doug?
Thank you, Dr. Floyd. I appreciate you calling on me. You should test your smoke alarms monthly and change the batteries in them twice a year. A good reminder is to change the batteries when you change your clocks for daylight savings time.
Correct. Now...
Unless you live in Arizona, which doesn't observe daylight savings time, then you should just change them twice a year.
Right.
But if you live on the Navajo Nation Reservation in Arizona, then you do observe daylight savings time, so just change the batteries then.
Boy, Dr. Doug, I think that's the most you've said in a long time. It's nice to have you taking part in these episodes.
Well, maybe I should come up from engineering more often then.
Okay, folks, that'll do it. This briefing is over.
Hey, great presentation, Dr. Floyd.
Do you really think so? I thought it would have gone much smoother if Chips wouldn't have kept interrupting.
Well, I was just trying to tell you that Dr. Steve and Fidget have made a time jump to Chicago in 1871.
They did what?
Yes, they've gone back to October 8th, when the Great Fire of Chicago started.
Heavens to Mrs. O'Leary, why didn't you interrupt me?
But
Don't waste your time talking, let's go.
And as our heroes pile into their time and spaceship, let's jump back to 1871 ourselves, where we find that no-good nitwit Dr. Steve and his assistant Fidget peering at Mrs. O'Leary's barn as the clock ticks closer to 9 o'clock p.m.
Oh, this is it, Fidget. I can hardly stand the excitement. Look, here comes Mrs. O'Leary now, leading her cow to the barn with a lantern in her hand. Ooh, that must be the cause of the fire. We now have... What? Where? You're right. That man with a wooden leg is crawling out of the barn window there. Oh, and he's got a bucket of milk, and his pipe is blowing ashes everywhere. Comet? What Comet? You're right. All right, Fidget, keep a sharp eye out. We want to see the true cause of this fire.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to miss anything.
Dr. Floyd, Dr. Grant, and Chips.
In the flesh. Oh, sorry. In the flesh and, metal. Better?
somewhat.
You're not going to prevent me from carrying out my dastardly plan. Do you hear me?
Is that so?
Yes, we've been hiding in these bushes for nearly 15 minutes now, and I'm not going to let you or your little friends distract me from seeing how the Great Fire of Chicago started, and then selling that information to the highest bidder in the future.
You seem pretty positive.
Oh, I am. Mrs. O'Leary just led her cow into the barn there with a lantern. Daniel Pegleg Sullivan just crawled out of that window with his pipe blowing ashes all over the place. And Baila's comet just broke up in the sky there. We're not going to miss the start of this conflagration.
Okay, I believe you. Or I would believe you had you not flapped your trap so much you missed the start of the fire completely.
What? Oh, curses. The barn is now completely engulfed in flames. We've missed the start of the Great Fire of Chicago.
Not only that, Dr. Steve, but your cape is now on fire.
Oh, right. Like I'm gonna fall for that old trick. I'm not a dummy, you pesky little robot. I can see for myself that my cape is on fire. Put me out! Put me out! Ah!
No, you need to stop, drop, and roll, Dr. Steve.
Well, we stopped Dr. Steve, but do you think we should help put out the fire to save the city? It's still pretty manageable.
I wish we could, Chips, but remember, we can't interfere. All we can do is learn from history and try our best to make sure events like this don't happen again. That's why it's important to go over fire safety procedures at least twice a year.
You're right.
Come on, let's go help put out Dr. Steve and get back to the present.
Dr. Floyd and Chips catch up to the still slightly smoldering but completely unharmed Dr. Steve, who sneakily manages to escape during the commotion of the spreading Chicago fire. Will our heroes ever be able to put an end to Dr. Steve's wayward ways? Will any of Dr. Steve's perilous plots ever come to fruition? And just what was Mrs. O'Leary's cow's name anyway? Did anyone ever bother to ask the cow? Find out next time on the radio adventures of Dr. Floyd.
Episode number SE025 of the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd starred Maura Quirk as Chips. www.mauraquirk.com. Nikolai and Caleb from Dancing with Elephants as the Two Chicago Kids, www.dwithe.com, and Susie Chasen as Flight Attendant Christy. Music for this episode by Jody Whitesides, www.jodywhitesides.com. This episode was written by Grant Baciocco and recorded at Dr. Floyd Studios in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. Episode number SE025 of the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd is copyright 2009 Dr. Floyd Industries, LLC. All rights reserved.
Clear the airwaves! Clear the airwaves! It's now time for Dr. Floyd's Imagination Nation Rangers secret message for you members of the Dr. Floyd Imagination Nation. Remember, kids, only official Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd Imagination Nation Rangers can decode Dr. Floyd's secret message with the secret decoder ring, available only from www.imaginationranger.com. All right, grab your secret decoder rings and a pencil and paper and prepare to set your imagination to fun. Remember, Dr. Floyd is counting on you. And here is the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd Imagination Nation Ranger secret message for episode number SE025, Hot Time in the Old Town Tonight. 12, 18, 1, 8, 13, 11, 1, 17, 8, 4, 12, 7, 1, 14, 2, 7, 4, 3, 25, 15. And that was a message from Dr. Floyd himself to all his Imagination Nation Rangers. You can join Dr. Floyd's Imagination Nation and become an Imagination Nation Ranger only at www.imaginationranger.com. And until next time, set your imagination to fun.
Hey everybody, this is Grant from the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd, and I just wanted to send out a personal thank you to each and every one of you who donated to help get Doug back on his feet after he lost his house in the fire. Doug is doing great, and the support that the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd community showed us was really, really just amazing. We hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to, and again, thank you very much.